That summer, I went back to the old house. The heat was relentless, shimmering over the asphalt, making the world seem slow and hazy. Every afternoon, I'd sit on the porch waiting, not for anything specific, just waiting. Then, like clockwork, I'd hear the gentle squeak of a bicycle. It was the mail carrier, an old man with a kind, sun-crinkled smile, the same one from my childhood. He'd hand me the mail, mostly bills and flyers, but it felt like receiving a precious gift. In that quiet suburb, time didn't rush. It meandered, like the lazy river nearby. It reminded me that sometimes, the most beautiful moments are the simplest ones, the ones that ask for nothing but your quiet presence. There's a certain comfort in the predictability of a small town, you know? Every morning, the same bakery smell wafts down Main Street, the same neighbors wave from their porches. It's a rhythm you can set your heart to. My childhood home was the epicenter of that peace, a quiet little house on a quiet little street. But lately, things have been off. It started with small stuff, things you'd easily dismiss. A misplaced garden tool, a gate left open that I swore I had latched. Then came the whispers on the wind that didn't sound like leaves, and shadows in the corner of my eye that danced away when I turned. The familiar rhythm of this town is starting to skip a beat, and a strange, unsettling melody is taking its place. Something is wrong here, and I have to find out what it is. Follow along if you dare. The forest near my grandma's house has always been my quiet place, but lately, it's felt different. It started with small things. Trails I'd walked 1,000 times suddenly seemed to shift. The air would get strangely cold in patches, even on the warmest days. Then, last week, I met him. A huge black dog, just sitting in the middle of the path. He had the kindest eyes I'd ever seen. He wasn't wearing a collar, but he followed me all the way back to Grandma's porch like we were old friends. When I told Grandma about him, she just smiled, a knowing, almost sad smile. She looked out at the tree line and whispered, "The guardians are stirring. Big changes are coming, child. Be ready." I still don't know what she meant, but that dog hasn't left my side since. The air is thick, like you could grab a handful of it. It's a different kind of heat here in the city. Not like the lazy summer days back home. I remember the cicadas buzzing in our backyard, the smell of cut grass and my dad's barbecue. Leaving that quiet street felt like closing a favorite book. Now, the city screams with a different energy, sirens instead of cicadas, the scent of street food and exhaust. It's overwhelming, but exciting. Every corner holds a new story, a new possibility. I packed my mom's advice along with my clothes, her voice a steady anchor in this sea of noise. This city, this heat, this future, it's all mine now. It's scary, but I think I'm ready to start this new chapter. Rainy days always have a way of leading you to unexpected places, don't they? I was just trying to get out of a sudden downpour when I saw at a tiny antique shop tucked between two modern buildings, a place I'd sworn wasn't there yesterday. The sign above the door was so faded I couldn't even read the name. Inside, the air smelled like old paper and something sweet like cinnamon. An old man with eyes that seemed to hold 1,000 stories greeted me with a knowing smile. He didn't ask what I was looking for. Instead, he handed me a heavy, leather-bound book with no title. He said, "This has been waiting for you." The moment my fingers touched the cover, a strange warmth spread through me. It felt like coming home. I knew right then, this wasn't just any book. This was the beginning of my story. Ever feel like your life's a book you've read 1,000 times? I know I did. My days were a blur of coffee, work, and repeat. But then, this showed up. No return address, no note, just an old leather-bound book with a title I couldn't read. Call me crazy, but I opened it. The pages felt ancient, filled with symbols I'd never seen. And then, the world just dissolved. One second I was in my tiny apartment. The next, I was standing on a cobblestone street under a sky with two moons. Buildings twisted into impossible shapes, glowing flora lit up the alleyways, and creatures straight out of a fairy tale wandered past me like it was just another Tuesday. This wasn't just a book, it was a key. The mist finally cleared, and I found myself in a city unlike any I'd ever seen. Towers of crystal pierced a sky swirling with violet and gold, and luminous birds with feathers of spun moonlight soared between them. I was lost, completely and utterly lost. I wandered through streets paved with shimmering cobblestones, past creatures straight out of a storybook. A vendor with pointed ears and a mischievous grin tried to sell me a glowing fruit that hummed a soft melody. But then, a shadow fell over the street. The air grew cold, and a terrifying silence descended. A carriage carved from what looked like bone and pulled by skeletal horses with eyes of fire thundered towards me. A primal scream caught in my throat. This wasn't a dream. This was a nightmare, and I was a long, long way from home.